All right, we are wrapping up Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. I would rate this day, I would have rated it, if you would ask me 2 hours ago, I would have rated it a 5 out of 10 in terms of productivity. But then I had a 2 hour long phone conversation with my mom, and it was really good. And it's always super awesome to talk with my mom. So now I'm giving it a 7. Just because the productivity throughout the day was just honestly terrible. I'll give a couple of reasons why I thought it was terrible and what I'm going to be doing to fix it going forward. However, like a good chat with mom can always raise the ranking on even a bad day. So I was really excited. We got the chat, got a lot of nice oxygen outside while the sun was setting, just talking about life, business, and relationships. This has been our biggest month in the company so far. Like if April were to end tomorrow, that would be our biggest month that we've had to date. And sometimes, like the last few times we've had our record months, I've been just kind of like, I don't know if imposter syndrome is the right word, but there feels like a bigger weight on your shoulders. And my mom, she had said to me when we were on the call, just in a very genuine tone of like, you've really earned all of it. Like, just so you know, like you've earned it. And it felt good to hear that because she's seen the sacrifices. And I mean, my mom and my brother and my family saw more failures than I even like remember, because when I was at home was when I was just failing over and over again with all these different businesses. And then when I finally got one that stuck, I wanted to go pursue it. So I have a deep appreciation for that. You talk about business, relationships. Sometimes we both wonder what it will look like in a relationship later on in life, because right now obviously that'd be a pretty difficult feat to pull off. And the dichotomy what I've been battling with, I mean, for as long as I can remember, is I call it the cheerleader versus battle mate paradox, where it's like, as a high-powered entrepreneur that is driven and wants everything and like just like does not believe in things being impossible and just trying to play the game as best we can, like, do you want someone who's like a cheerleader and is there to support you, is there to like be on the homestead, or do you want a battle mate that's there like with you, whether it's inside the same business or also crushing it inside a business as well? So we had a good chat about that. And the more that I think, the more that I'm on like team battle mate side, because I used to think that there was a trade-off that was needed between having a big family and having somebody that is like your battle mate inside a business. Now, I'll explain what I mean by that. I used to think like, if your wife, I'm just speaking as a man right here because it's just my thought process. If your wife is in business and is crushing it and also is putting in big hours, she's going to have a difficult time raising the kids and spending adequate time with them that would be needed. And not even time, but just like focus, where you can't have two main purposes in life. The main purpose is business and not the kids. Maybe then you don't get raised as well, because I was raised by a woman who literally cared about nothing other than me and my brother. And I think like it's awesome, and I want my kids to have that same experience. So I used to think there was that trade-off. But then the more that I start to do research on seeing like, hey, has there been people who have pulled this off? Well, there's two really big examples. Number one is Jesse Itzler, who like, he has incredibly successful companies, lives an incredible life of ultra marathons, adventures, networking, meeting amazing people. His wife is a multi-billionaire, founder of Spanx, and he has 4 kids. So like, someone did it. And what I said on the phone with my mom was, I was like, okay, well, if you find this battle mate, you guys both want to have a family, then if you've succeeded enough inside of business, just monetarily, success is obviously very, very subjective, and it means different things to different people. But if you have enough money, you could take a guy like Jesse, get him on the phone, whether it was, okay, it was fucking $10,000 for 10 minutes, say, and you just ask him all of these questions about, hey, what would you do differently when raising a bunch of kids with a high-powered wife as like 2 entrepreneur parents? What would you do differently? How do you make sure that you still have that relationship with your kids, etc.? So like, there's a world out there where you can get that education, whether from Jesse or whether from someone else, and like someone has done it, so we can do it as well. Second example is, I used to think like, okay, Alex and Layla Hormozi, of course, is like a huge example. I'm forever indebted to the two of those people for the amount that I have learned from their free content, and also like I avidly spend lots of money with acquisition to learn business, and I always get a huge ROI from the stuff that I learn. So I look at them and I think, well, okay, we got Alex and Layla, and they clearly just really care about business. They don't have kids. I want to have kids, dude. Like I want to have a big family. Like I want to start a fucking dynasty, and like just my vision's 2090 at the Thanksgiving table with 100 people that stemmed from a thoughtful process of like I like just thinking through things. Like with my brother, for example, it's like, okay, well, let's stay in the same area, let's have lots of kids, and let's just like raise them right. And I think like, oh, Hormozis don't have kids, so like maybe there is a sacrifice that's to be made. Well, inside of Layla's channel on Instagram, like the private subscriber channel, she was talking about how like she was wanting to have kids, but they like haven't been able to. So even they want to have them. It's just a matter of like they haven't been able to. So the more I think about this stuff, the more I research, the more I feel on the battle mate side. Nonetheless, that's like the recent conversation that I just had with my mom. So it's just top of mind, so we're getting it here tonight. Anyway, was up at 5:50 again today. Got the 5 reach outs in. Workout was just mobility in the morning. I'll do one more session after this, and then in between work blocks, also got my mobility in while I was like rewatching some calls for game tape and to put together agendas. Was doing my what do you call them? Like doing the freaking, I don't know what this is, but like that with the bands, whatever it's called. Deep work was sent out some new contracts today and made some important call agendas for later in the week. And then this one was a funny one, the lesson learned from today. I wrote a note yesterday, and I get this from like when I do my laundry. I tend to, as soon as I pull the stuff out of the dryer, I like clear the lint thing for next time. And I always think when I do that, it's like, you know what, future me will always appreciate when current me does him a favor. And it never disappoints. So what I did was, because that was right after I did the video last night, I went and did the lint thing. I came over here and wrote down right on the side here, I said, future me always appreciates when current me does him a favor. And that was gonna be the lesson for today. And I didn't know what I was gonna put down here for the lessons or notes for today, but I walked over here and saw the note that previous me left for future me, which is me right now. And I was like, oh, future me appreciates every single time that previous me does a favor for him. So if you're debating whether to leave something for tomorrow or to leave it for future you will appreciate when you get shit done for him or her and do them favors, as opposed to leaving them a pile of shit that then they might leave for a future version of you. And that's also in tandem with remembering that pins are very important. Bowling would be pretty hard if you didn't know where the pins were and like they were already knocked down and scattered across all of the lanes, but then you still had to somehow knock them down. So I like to set up my pins before, sorry, I just got a Slack message. Damn it, dude. I don't like getting distracted by stuff like that. I like getting notifications during these things and then like not getting distracted by them and then being able to rock regardless. But anyway, I'm gonna be setting up my pins tonight, stretching out and going to bed because we got 8:18 right now and I don't wanna nuke the sleep schedule this week. My dad's coming in tomorrow, so he'll be in picking him up from the airport around 2. And yeah, that's what I got for you. So really big day today. Kind of big day. Good output, not the best inputs. I'd like to get a better inputs tomorrow, so I'm gonna go set up my pins to make it happen. See you then.